Tish James is cooked. Yeah, it's about time someone went after her, and Pam Bondi's going after her. All the people that said Pam Bondi was a traitor and isn't doing enough are liars. we've had her back for a while. No, I get it. There's division. Everyone's frustrated that no one's going to jail. Guys, it takes time. Trump's only been in office 6 months. They don't suddenly start rounding people up like monkeys and throwing them in prison. That's not how reality works. I know that's how online reality makes you think it works. It's not what happens. It takes a long time. Welcome to Doug In Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We're going to go through this together. This is the good news. These are the happy times, guys. You should be celebrating, jumping up and down, screaming like orangutans. Ah, ah, woohoo, ah. These are the good times. Here's Letitia James getting slammed.
Some breaking news sources are telling us that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office are under investigation by the Department of Justice in relation to her case against President Trump. Justice correspondent David Spunt is in Washington. What do you know, David?
Well, hi, Dana. Two well-placed sources familiar with the probe tell Fox News that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office is under investigation by the DOJ here in Washington. We're told that Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on the probe. Subpoenas were sent to James's office, and there is a grand jury investigation underway in the New York State capital of Albany.
The New York State capital of Albany, we're going to get into that on why that alone is probably the biggest danger to stopping this whole thing. The grand jury being drawn in Albany. But Pam Bondi, they sent letters, this subpoenas. It could include emails. Letitia James will have to comply. So at the very least, they could shake more information out.
The specific investigation, my colleague Jake Gibson, Ashley Oliver, and myself are being told involves deprivation of rights, which in plain language means someone in a position of legal authority violating someone else's constitutional or legal rights.
I think that's a kind of a vague charge, but we're going to go into that deprivation of rights charge together in a minute also. I'm going to explain everything. My show is for dumb people. And when I say dumb people, I mean me. I need to be educated on this. What's a grand jury? How do they pick them? What's deprivation of rights? What's the voting percentages of Republicans versus Democrats in Albany, where they'll be drawing this grand jury from to see if they're even going to take the next step? I'm educating myself, and I'll break it all down for you. It is my joy to learn with you. I don't like all the lingo talk. I like breaking it down and finding out what it all means. I hope you've subscribed because we'll keep getting smarter together.
The sources tell Fox News the DOJ is going after James because she took then former President Donald Trump to court, quote, simply because she didn't like him and campaigned on getting him.
Did she only take him to court because she didn't like him and campaigned on getting him? I think there's a lot of proof on that. Look at this.
It's important that everyone understand that the days of Donald Trump are coming to an end.
Okay, that's what she ran on. The days of Donald Trump are coming to an end. Is there proof that she just went after Donald Trump because she didn't like him?
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass.
I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president.
We need to focus on Donald Trump. We need to follow his money. What is fueling my soul right now is Trump.
This illegitimate president. I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, and then going home.
But yeah, there's certainly evidence that she went after him just because she didn't like him. I agree.
DOJ, led by Bondi, believes she violated his First Amendment rights dealing with free speech. James has said before she believed Trump inflated his net worth to get good deals on loans from lenders and other financial benefits. Ms. James won in a court judgment of over $450 million against the Trump organization. Trump is appealing, and it's pending. The entire scope of the grand jury probe in Albany, Dana, is unclear. Grand juries are secretive, but we've learned from these well-placed sources it stems from a recent strike force set up inside the Justice Department to investigate an alleged plot to tie Trump to Russia in 2016. Sources say that strike force has expanded to other topics.
Yeah, let's get to the other topics, guys. Now you're going to see it all blow up. And by the way, Pam Bondi is utterly understaffed. I don't have the quote here, but this is why I'm against the Epstein investigation, because she has said she's understaffed. They came understaffed. And you got to remember, they had all of the positions that could be filled in the Department of Justice were filled by Biden appointments. Merrick Garland bragged about making 40% of the entire Justice Department's appointments under Joe Biden. You have to wipe all those people out. Then go hire, like Janine Pirro said, they need like 10,000 people in her department. The FBI is understaffed. ICE is understaffed. So all of them are understaffed. You have limited resources. The resources are not unlimited. Okay. And so you don't just go and pile some other job. I agree, it's important. Get the child predators, get them. But guys, that's not going to save the country. If you don't fix your government, the FBI, the Department of Justice, go after Letitia James, lawfare, judges, you will only have a few years to go and get those child predators, and then you're back to being investigated, your free speech taken away, all of the borders open back up again. You will go to prison, okay? It's time to take Epstein, put it on the back shelf. You have to prioritize as a tactic. They only have so many resources. They pulled Dan Bongino and Kash Patel obviously off of Epstein when they said there's nothing there. They obviously had other stuff to do. And what's Bongino doing? They're taking hundreds and hundreds of active murderers and child predators today off the streets, not child predators from 20 years ago. Today, we need Pam Bondi on this today. And yes, other topics are coming. They haven't even hit J6 yet. The fake J6 allegations against the Proud Boys and all those guys, that's coming too. They're going to open it up and say all of that, Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, the special prosecutors, the denial of rights, denial of lawyers to those victims, and constructing that whole case to try and nail Trump on an insurrection. That's coming too. That's what I mean by other topics.
Now to recap. The Justice Department has initiated grand jury proceedings in Albany, New York, against the Empire State Attorney General Letitia James. But remember, this is important. A grand jury simply decides if there's enough evidence to indict. To be clear, we are told this is very early in the process, and no one, as I speak to you right now, is facing any charges at this time. Fox News reached out to Attorney General James's office multiple times, but we've yet to hear back.
So the grand jury is just to find out if there's enough evidence. That's where this whole thing could stop. They'll take another route. Don't worry, we're going to get her. But this route may not be the route to get her because of that grand jury. I'll show you why in just a minute. Let me hit some more headlines here real quick with our guy, Mike Davis, who I believe is behind this whole thing, advising the Trump administration behind the scenes. He's the one that's had his finger on this thing from the beginning. Mike Davis, dear Big Tish James, you were the hunter. Now you are the hunted. I'm going to real quick show a little bit of time on this just because Fani Willis goes in the same other topics category before we get back to Tish James. Project Veritas. Texts, notes, and emails expose Fulton County DA Fani Willis and Bill Barr, Republican Bill Barr, worked together on the RICO case targeting real Donald Trump. Bill Barr, if this allegation is true, is an absolute 100% traitor to Donald Trump. He went and got into bed with Tish James, not literally to my knowledge, but figuratively. That's another huge scandal blowing up. Here's more from Mike Davis. Dear lawfare Democrats, in your quest to destroy Donald Trump, you laughed at his legal team. Then they kicked your asses, including a monumental presidential immunity victory at the Supreme Court. Now President Trump is back in the White House, and his top legal team members are now serving as the Deputy Attorney General of the United States. That's Attorney General Todd Blanche, Solicitor General of the United States, John Sauer, and United States Circuit Judge Emil Bove, Third Circuit. Still laughing? Lawyer up, MFers. Justice is coming. Nobody's above the law. This is Todd Blanche with a picture of he being sworn in with Emil Bove holding the Bible. What difference a year makes as we celebrate Judge Emil Bove's confirmation to the Third Circuit. I am reminded that just a few months ago, he held the Bible as I swore in, Solicitor General D. John Sauer. The three of us proudly served together representing President Trump, grateful to the president and AG Pam Bondi for making great things happen at the DOJ as we work to make America safe again. Yes, they're giving credit to Pam Bondi because the people that talked her down were lying to you, and I've been telling you the truth all along. Sorry, guys, that's the truth. These are the three guys that cleared Trump of an insurrection. They went before the federal DC courts, and now they're all put in Trump's administration. They're all in Washington, D.C. Attorney General's positions. This is a massive win beyond my imagination. Trump is winning in ways we couldn't even imagine, guys. Breaking: the DOJ has opened a jury investigation into Letitia James tied to the Trump civil case. James's office received subpoenas for documents, emails this week, including for information related to her civil fraud lawsuit against Trump. Wait, here's more from Mila Joy. Either Letitia James A, lied on mortgage application, that's fraud, and what she went to Trump over, or she lives in Virginia and cannot legally be the New York Attorney General. Unlike Trump, there's actual proof of her guilt. Moving on. This goes into that Albany, New York thing. I went to Grok to get a little help on this. What is the political makeup of Albany, New York? This is where the grand jury is going to be pulled from, guys. This is where this whole thing, I believe, could get its plug pulled. So they're going to go out into Albany, New York, right? And they're going to start putting together a grand jury, a top secret grand jury. Remember, they're looking to see if there's enough evidence to charge Letitia James. If this grand jury says there's not enough evidence, it ends. Okay. They can still go after her on other grounds or doing something else, but this particular strand ends. And this is where I think is a big problem. Albany, New York, the state capital, has a strongly Democrat political makeup, with the city and surrounding Albany County consistently leaning left in elections, voter registration, and government composition. As of February 2025, Albany County's voter enrollment shows a significant Democrat advantage, with 101,000 active registered Democrats compared to just 37,000 Republicans. So we're about 1/3 of that jury pool they'll be pulling from. So this is my own math. No one else is talking about this. How can I be so dumb and crack this? Alongside smaller numbers of other parties, such as 7,000 in the Working Families Party, throw your vote away, good job. 3,900 independents, way to throw your vote away. And 1,164 conservatives, yeah, also throw your vote away. Plus substantial unaffiliated blank voters contributing to a total active registration of around 200,000 people. In the 2020 presidential election, Albany County voted 64% Democrat and 33% Republican. Those are the numbers, gang. Those are the numbers of your jury pool. And I don't know if they have to get a unanimous to do it or just a mere majority on it. If it's a 12-person pool, I don't know the exact numbers. We need 7 Republicans because I don't believe anyone is unbiased anymore. I just want to know how many liberals versus conservatives are on the jury, and I'll tell you if there's going to be justice. And I only want 50-50. I want 6 of each, because if you can pull a Democrat over where they go, hey, we see crime here on Letitia James, let's launch the charges, then I trust it, right? I trust it. I don't trust it if it's 60% liberals and they all just go, oh, we're programmed to go against Trump. We watch TV. TV tells us he's a Nazi. We don't even need to see this case and look at Letitia James. Any felon needs to be released back into the public. Oh, an illegal felon, someone who has beaten a woman, let him go back in the public, no charges, I'm a Democrat. Okay, all I want to hear is there's only 50% of those on a jury, and I'll believe the charges stick. So that's, just so you know, that is what this case is actually up against. Moving on. Flashback, Letitia James smiling from ear to ear. This is her when she was getting Trump. Let's take a look at her face. Look at this face of Letitia James.
Changes now.
There we have the Attorney General Letitia James in the front row.
Okay, so as this starts to get
very happy Letitia James in the front row. Look, Trump's going to be in your front row with this smile. Look at this smile. Just remember, when Trump's in your front row, smiling, eating peanuts in the courtroom, smacking his gum. Here's Nick Sorter. More. It's not just Letitia James. It's also Adam Schiff. We're getting a twofer. On In Exile today, 2 for 1. Breaking Pam Bondi. Oh, Pam Bondi again. Did someone lie to you and say that she's deep state sellout? Oh, okay. Well, Pam Bondi's sure doing a lot of great work in my book. I'm sorry. I just look at evidence instead of listen to another show and repeat what the internet tells me to think, even in MAGA. Pam Bondi has appointed Ed Martin, we're going to get into Ed Martin in a second, as the special prosecutor investigating both Adam Schiff and Letitia James for mortgage fraud. They're absolutely screwed. Oh, but who's Ed Martin, you think? I'm dumb. I don't know. Let's find out. The Post highlights a significant development where Pam Bondi, appointed U.S. Attorney General in February 2025, has tapped Ed Martin as a special prosecutor to investigate Adam Schiff, melon-headed pencil neck Adam Schiff, bug-eyed freak Adam Schiff, and Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud, a move backed by a recent FHFA that's federal housing, federal something, citing falsified bank documents from 2003 to 2019, potentially violating federal fraud statutes. Ed Martin's appointment is notable given his prior, quote, stop the steal activism and a 2025 disciplinary probe threatening his law license. So this man has been through the ringer, suggesting a high-stakes political counteroffensive by the Trump administration against figures like Schiff, who faced a DOJ referral, and James, targeted after her $464 million fraud suit against Trump. The escalation reflects a rare instance of reciprocal legal action. Reciprocal, not a two-tiered justice system. No one's above the law, remember? With no peer-reviewed studies directing the case. This is Grok's bias going against Trump here. But historical data from the DOJ, example, 2020 mortgage fraud statistics showing 9,400 cases, indicates such investigations can lead to indictments if evidence, like the FHFA's claims, holds under scrutiny. Yeah, that's good news. Why? Because Letitia James is a unhinged liberal. How unhinged? Remember, she's going to target Trump. She's after him. And now we're after her. Thank you. Here's more, where if only Letitia James was warned by Mike Davis and she did not heed his warnings.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights. And I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
It's not going to happen again. Things have changed in the second administration. Trump is a new man, a very different man. But wait, there's more. It's not just the mortgage fraud they're going after on Tish James. Pam Bondi's going after her for hitting the NRA. This is going to affect your Second Amendment rights. I'll bet you didn't think that when we first started this show. Watch this.
New York Attorney General Letitia James may now be in some legal hot water herself.
The Department of Justice opening up a formal investigation into the state. Attorney General Pam Bondi issuing several subpoenas and convening a grand jury, as reported, as part of a criminal investigation into multiple allegations. Comes after Tish James and Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg put then former President Trump on trial in New York. So this story is developing here. We're trying to just get to the bottom of what could be in the future for AG James. Let's check in now with our chief Washington correspondent, James Rosen, with some more details.
I love this too, because James Rosen used to be in that White House press corps, working for Fox. Now he's working for Newsmax. Oh, the hard right is just jamming along here.
Good morning.
Emma and Sean, good morning to you. Justice Department sources say the grand jury in the...
By the way, James Rosen is also the one that Barack Obama supposedly a journalist that Barack Obama wiretapped.
NRA case began its work several days ago, and that federal subpoenas have also been issued. Sources said Attorney General Bondi is demanding access to all documents on the NRA lawsuit that Tish James, as New York's Attorney General, filed, and which she might currently have in her possession, within the office of the New York State Attorney General.
Get those documents. Let's put them out to the public while we're at it. I want to see Tish James. I want to see her Google searches.
Justice Department officials believe that James may have instigated state action against the NRA solely to violate the organization's First and Second Amendment rights. James, as AG in the state of New York, and of course as a Democrat, sued the NRA in 2020, alleging the nonprofit had engaged in fraud and other financial misconduct. 18 months ago, in February of 2024, a New York jury found that the NRA indeed had mismanaged charitable funds and violated state laws, and 2 NRA executives were held liable to the tune of $6 million. The group, of course, is appealing that verdict. Newsmax has separately confirmed, as other outlets are reporting at this hour, that Attorney General Bondi has also issued a subpoena to investigate James's work on the massive civil fraud case that she brought and won against the Trump organization.
That's 2 different charges that Bondi did against Letitia James. And now we find out that she might have invaded the NRA's First Amendment rights. Again, it's the grand jury is going to go and pull a jury from Albany that's, mostly Democrat voters. So to me, that's the only danger I see, because I believe if a neutral party goes in and looks at that real estate deal as backed up even by a lower circuit court that agreed that there were no charges here, and those were all Democrats, by the way. They said, Letitia James, there's nothing here, what you're doing. I believe a calm, normal person will find that Letitia James breached NRA's First Amendment rights and Trump's First Amendment rights, and that they will find Adam Schiff and Letitia James guilty. I'll keep you guys posted. I hope you'll subscribe. That's how you say thank you. Of course, you don't want to miss out on the news, guys. I get a lot of stuff right. I do a lot of good research. It's not because I'm smart. It's because I'm out educating myself right along, and I just present the information I find to you. And man, do I love all of you. You guys pay for all of my bills. You know that? You're my full-time job. I thank you. You've given me the greatest job. I'm just trying to do, you know who my hero is? Rush Limbaugh. He talked to people like you, loved people like you, invited them in. Some of you guys are complaining that my shows are getting too long. Some of them are 20 minutes, 30 minutes long. Rush Limbaugh did 3 hours a day. That's at least 2 hours of content without commercials. If I do 4 30-minute episodes a day, that's the same 2 hours of content a day, going over the news and talking to you. My hero is Rush Limbaugh, Dennis Prager, Hugh Hewitt, Mark Levin, even Michael Savage back in the day. I loved talk radio. They would all present about 2 hours of content a day. That's what I do. It takes me 8-hour day. I work 6 days a week. Those bums only worked 5 days a week. With one hand tied behind my back and my faithful editor, Jose, I'm Doug in Exile.